Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Eagle Eye Podcast. It is episode 68, which is 2 episodes away from 70. Wow, those are really really quick. All right. Well, before I get distracted any further here, let me introduce, as always, my co-host, Mr. Christian Rosendo. Christian, how are we?
Doing better now. I wasn't so good on Sunday though, as many of us were.
I can imagine. I can imagine. Um, did you say Saturday?
So I said Sunday.
Oh, you said Sunday. I thought you said Saturday.
No, I said Sunday. 100% said Sunday.
Alrighty, well, I am trying to fix my audio right now as I realized that I was not using my
Okay, because you sound different now. And
Yeah.
now I can't hear you. Oh, wait. Hold on. Pause.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay, well, it seems like just like America, we seem to be messing up in all ways here on the Eagle Eye Podcast.
Mhm.
Now, for those of you wondering where Mr. Cowboy Dan is, again, he will not be joining us. Unfortunately, he is in Nashville, still over there. He is actually right now in talks with Marvel Studios about a film in which he would be the center of. It's something about a cowboy hat, a cowboy getting bitten by a radioactive cowboy hat. So I don't really know the details of that, but that's what's going on right there. Um, but of course, he will be with us in spirit. Our good friend, Mr. Dylan Jimenez. We wish him the best of luck with that movie title. So, Christian, we got plenty and plenty to talk about. We have so much to break down. Not only do we have to break down this 3-2 loss against Toluca, but we also have to break down everything that's been going on around America this whole week. We're also going to give the ladies a pretty good shout out because, of course, they're actually in the Liga, and not just that, but they're actually looking like they can actually do the bicampeonato run after securing everything.
Mhm.
So plenty to talk about. So we ready to get started on this?
Yes, we are. Unfortunately, just one of those games that we had it, but we just let it slip away. Honestly.
I think it's not just is one. It was one of those games. I think it was. It's been one of these weeks
Yeah.
in for America.
Hmm.
I think everything starts falling apart after the Cholos game. It
Yeah.
was the Cholo game in which America's season starts to deteriorate, and it looks like if they don't find a way to patch all of this up, it's not going to look good. We're nowhere near safe from making sure that we do qualify for the Liga. Two
Hmm.
games left, 6 points. You would imagine the Veracruz game is at least 3 points secure. But again, anything is possible. I did say that we would lose against Veracruz.
Yeah, you keep
Um,
saying that. I'm gonna need you to stop saying that, please, because you're giving me a lot of anxiety now.
And then of course we have this upcoming game against Santos Laguna. So I mean that game in itself is not going to be easy. By
Hmm.
no means necessary will the
Correct.
Laguneros be easy to take down, even in our home stadium. So plenty and plenty to talk about. We're going to break it all down. We're going to say how America got to this point, and we're going to say we're going to talk about exactly what America needs to do to make sure we rack up the points that are needed and hopefully solidify a spot in the Liga, because I think the best thing we can shoot for is about fifth place now.
Yeah, fourth or fifth, depending on results, but anything is possible. We could theoretically end up as much as third place, but that would need a lot of results to go in our favor. So third place is kind of a little bit out of reach, I would say. So I think you are aiming for that fourth through eighth spot as of right now.
And let's be honest, you need to get fourth place. Even that is very tough, but
Yeah. Hmm.
you can't finish seventh. You can't finish eighth. You,
No,
you
because
can't
that you just
finish.
don't have home field advantage, and that was for me. I think that was a not a key part, but it was definitely a big help last the year. Just having the knowing in the back of your head that you're closing out at home in front of your fans, it's always a huge advantage for no matter what team.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. A huge advantage, and well, America let that advantage go,
Yeah.
and now we're in this situation in which now America needs to focus on trying to get all 3 points against Santos, and then focus on all 3 points against Veracruz.
Hmm.
Of course, you think that'd be quite easy to do, but around all the speculations going around in the dressing room, it doesn't look like America's 100% there right now.
Yeah, no, that's the concerning part. You would think that despite all the bad results that have been coming our way recently, and to add on this, dressing room drama. That's the last thing we need right now. We need all our guys to be focused on the same page towards the same goal, and it just doesn't look that way right now.
Yeah, definitely does not look like that whatsoever. But all right, Christian, let's jump into it. Let's dive deep into this game. We'll start things off with Toluca, but before we get there, I do want to address something that happened recently that was kind of a big news in the Twitter English community, and that is the departure of Mr. Ted Brooks from the Club America English Twitter account. He has now joined Inter Miami FC. I just kind of want to give a shout out to Ted for all the great work that he did. He will be missed in the America community, not just there, but in the Liga MX English community as well. I think we can both sit here and agree that he did a fantastic job. He did a great work, and I think it's whoever's job it is to fill in the shoes is going to have a pretty big step to take. But shout out to Ted, who was a phenomenal person. Gave us gave us a lot of insight, gave us a lot of treated us very well whenever I did get to meet him. He was a great guy, really down to earth, and just very friendly. So Ted, if you're listening for whatever reason, we just want to say thank you for all the work that you did with America. Thank you for all the work that you did for the community. From your memes to your tweets, everything. We just want to say thank you so much, and for acknowledging us as well. For coming on to the pod, not coming on, but coming up to me that one day in Fresno and acknowledging the podcast. That was really cool. So thank you, Ted, for everything that you did within the community. I know everyone else is gonna miss you, not just us here in the UI podcast, but everyone else around in America. I know that you will be missed, but you will never be forgotten. And I think, as our good friend Alan Tomaye from Rasaca Americanista said, you're always welcome to come back. You're always gonna have a home in the Azteca. You're always gonna have a family here within the community. So Ted, we wish you the best of luck on your new adventures in Inter Miami FC. And thank you again for all the time and effort that you put in to the Copa America community.
100%.
Alrighty. Well, with that said, let's talk America now, because it looks like from bad news to worse news. Now America loses out to not just 3 points, but 1 point away on the road against Toluca in the Estadio Nemesio Diaz, a game that ended 3-2. Christian, it was a game that was I want to say topsy-turvy. You had Toluca winning at first, then you had us tying the game, then us going up. And by the way, we could have gone up before that goal too if Cordoba would have made the shot that hit the post. It was a tale of two different halves, I would imagine. A lot of people would categorize it as. I mean, Toluca with a good start, America, having a good comeback. The attitude, to get the goal, to get to get things going. Ibarwen, I think, looked very well in that second half down that left hand side. Had a couple of good shots, and then you had Cordoba, another player that I think, again, a player that we had been saying we want to see him get some minutes, and I think he's starting to say exactly why.
No, definitely. Cordoba for me, how would I describe his game? His game was, I would say, decent. We saw some good moments from him, but then there were some really bad moments from him, and then I guess that's why he hasn't gotten the approval of Pio Herrera to be a regular starter or a regular coming off the bench in recent games. But for the most part, and from what we had to work with, I think Cordoba had a decent game, but I think he could have gave more though.
Yeah. I mean, his pinball situation where he took down the cop.
Oh, yeah.
The cop is not pressing charges, for those of you worried. But yeah, another player that looks like he's getting a couple of minutes in under his belt that can definitely solidify him in the upcoming years. Let's just talk in general of this game as a whole. 3-2 result. You saw we had a chance at the end to tie it 3-3. Didn't go. We'll talk about that in a little bit with this whole Henry situation. But just kind of give me your thoughts after the game ends. 90 minutes go by, referee blows the whistle. We'll talk about Piojo in a little bit too. He's on the verge of maybe getting a fine from the referees, from the referee committee after the things he said about the referee. And I don't know, just give me your take on this.
The final whistle blows, and I'm just like, oh wow, it's gonna be one of those end of the seasons, where we could have. I think I read a tweet somewhere, and somewhere where we had 15 points left to play for, and I think we needed a bare minimum of like, I think it was like 5, and then we were practically secure. Like, that's it, we're good. Now we have 6 points to play for, and now we're required to win both games, or else things can get really really ugly. And it's just like, where did we go wrong? We 3-0 Tigres in our own home, and then we 4-0 Tijuana in Copa Americas. And after that game, everyone thought, wow, listen, we're back, we're contenders now. This bicampeonato is actually possible. And then everything starts collapsing. A loss in Tijuana here, a draw against Cruz Azul there, and then you have this. And after the game, I just don't know. Are the players like mentally in this? Like, are they just okay with winning Copa America? So they take league a little bit lightly now, and they think that the spot is secured in playoffs? Like, is like, I don't know. I think it's maybe a player mentality, and from everywhere, from the staff, from Piojo to the players, everyone's at fault. And this was just a bad game to lose, because it was very important, as I stressed last podcast.
Yeah, and I think we've been saying this for the past 2 weeks. This is the game. This is the crucial game. You got to get things going. You got to kickstart things.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't seem to be the case right now.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
America really needs to wake up. I think you're right, though. In many sense, there's a lot of things going wrong in America from the dressing room. I think some of the players don't have that same attitude that they had at the beginning of the season. Some of them have lacked it for quite some time, maybe even a year now. I'm talking about players like Mateo Uribe. I'm talking about players like Jeremy Menez, who have been, right now all over the news after,
Mm-hmm.
the speculation that him and Piojo have had a bit of attention, that he might be seeing his way out of the club. There's
Right.
players out there that, have yet to show us exactly their full capability. Henry Martin has shown us bits and pieces, hasn't given us a full season. Roger,
Sure.
can't say the same thing about him, has had injuries. And let's face it, sometimes he doesn't look like the best player, right?
No, correct. Yeah. And, I know a lot of people are going to be like, Henry this. Yeah. So why aren't you putting any blame on Roger? Trust me, we will. Roger was not, the cream of the top of this game either. He has his problems too, but we'll get into that a little bit later, though.
And I'm looking at players like George Sanchez, who I think did not have the best of games against
Yeah.
Toluca, who hasn't
Mm-hmm.
had the best of games. I think against Tijuana struggled a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe flew a little bit under the radar. Paul Aguilar, I feel like at times gets
Ooh.
lost in his own positioning.
This is
I
mhm.
mean, you see the first goal. The first goal could have completely been stopped by Paulo Aguilar if he actually paid attention to his positioning and where his man was.
That third goal as well.
And the third goal as well, and you just a little bit of nuances here and there in the season in which you can pick out different scenarios, different players. But I think we haven't seen an all-round performance.
Mm-mm.
Now, I don't want us to be pulling the plug on this America side and saying all is lost, all hope is gone,
It's not.
because it's not. We were in. I'm not gonna say we were in the same situation or in the same chair last season, but 6 months ago we were here. We were talking, you, me, and Dylan, how this wasn't looking like the America side that we wanted. There's a couple of draws here and there. Things weren't looking good. Momentum was important, and we didn't get that win until Veracruz, and then that catapulted us going forward.
Correct.
Now, if you can get the win against Santos, get the win against Veracruz, and catapult you forward, regardless if you even finish fifth place, even if you finish in fifth place, that could be enough to carry you forward into the Liga. It's just the mindset that these players need to be in just needs to click in the right way. And I think you need to clean house. Not in the sense that you have to get rid of players, but you need to get all your differences assorted, at least through the end of the season. And after everything is all said and done, then you sit down, then you say, okay, you don't want to be here, fine, you can leave, or you want to stay, you gotta, it's a matter of just in being aware of your internal affairs and getting all of that situated, because you have 2 huge games coming up that will then carry you forward into the Liga.
Mm-hmm. No, I completely agree with you, and I think you make a good point when you said that like you get a result here and there, and it catapults you into like this momentum based thing going to the Liga, and you saying that, we still have yet to find that. We have 3 games, the most recent 3 games we haven't won, loss, draw, loss, and we're still waiting for that spark. Now, I'm fairly confident that this is not the best America we have seen. There are key players missing, like Edson Alvarez, Renato Ibarra, Nico Castillo. Those players are fundamental to this team and who they are, and that brought us results in previous games. So I really do think that when America does win, hopefully they do win this Saturday because we really need them to. If they do win and it's a convincing win, maybe that's just enough for this team to kind of flip the switch and be like, listen, guys, we're still in this. We have this momentum now. Let's take it and then go on with it and steamroll Veracruz, find out our opponent, and let's focus on that and focus on our objective, which is the bicampeonato.
No, yeah, definitely. Now let's focus on this game. Let's focus against Toluca. Let's break down exactly what went wrong for America and what little things they did right that could have catapulted them to the victory. Because at that one point we were up, and
Yes.
at one point we could have even been 3-1 up.
Mm-hmm.
So talk to me. What did you see go wrong at the beginning of the first half, and what did you see go right towards the end?
Well, what went wrong for me was our defense. Mainly this whole season we've been applauding our defense. Kind of saving us from here to there. From game to game, and it was our offense that was lacking. In this case, though, I really do think our defense failed, especially in that first goal in the 5th minute. You had Bruno Valdez kind of have a terrible attempt to clear, and it falls right into the laps of a Toluca player who just kind of backheels it, and then the next player was there, sends it, slots it in home, and that was a defensive lapse from Pablo Aguilar, like you mentioned earlier. So our defense was really bad, but I do like our attitude going forward after we were down. Like you said, we kept going forward. We kept trying to find that goal to tie the game, and we eventually did. And that same intensity in the second half was brought, and we managed to get ourselves in the lead. But once again, though, our defensive errors kind of cost us, and towards the end of the game as well.
Yeah. I think the defense is something that really needs to be looked at really, really well, because it is a partnership, like you said, we had praised for quite some time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yes.
it's also the same defensive partnership that we criticized so much at the end of last season as well, before we were champions. And a lot of people thought Americanistas were a little bit crazy to say, why are you guys bashing on these on these defensive partnerships, because they've been working so well. The results were there, the score sheets, all those kind of little things that you would look at for defense, they were checking the box. But like we mentioned, most of the time it was because it was either Marchesín or we were getting lucky at times.
Yeah, correct. And I think their defensive errors were overshadowed by the goals that they were scoring. You had Aguilera, Bruno Valdez kind of just take over the score sheets in Liga and a little bit before it. And I think that's where they kind of blinded some Americanistas that, like, oh, listen, guys, you guys are crazy for bashing these two. These guys are giving us goals, but yeah, you're right, they are giving us goals. But one of these games, their defensive errors are gonna cost us, and better yet, here in this game, a very crucial game, they cost us very bad.
I hate to be jumping from like the beginning of the game to the end of the game, but did you notice how in that same porteria, in that same place, America had a similar opportunity, just like Toluca did, where the ball just kind of goes up and then it comes down, lands on the attacker.
Oh yeah,
kind of all scrambled around.
Yeah.
But defensively speaking, we were a mess. Another instance is Toluca's second and third goal. I mean, they were all defensive mistakes, terrible mistakes. Where was our defenders? I felt that there was no consistency. There was no, I don't know. There was just miscommunication. One wanted to go this way, one stayed going over here. I mean, it looked worse than Sunday League.
No, yeah, this game was just a defensive mess, and it's I don't know. I feel like it's something that's been brewing for a while. You've kind of seen, especially starting with the Tijuana game, you kind of seen like little its and pieces, of defensive lapses that we thought that were going to get fixed, but I guess over time just didn't. But this is the reality that Piojo really needs to look at the defense, talk to Paulo Aguilar, fix his positioning, talk to Jorge Sanchez, really pick up his intensity. Bruno Aguilera, guys, your chemistry's getting away from you guys. What's going on? Talk to them seriously, and with all four of them, just try to get them back on the same page. Because to be honest, I'm gonna say they were kind of our backbone last Liga, kind of a little bit carrying us in a way when our offense wasn't producing. So we kind of need them to really pick it up in these next couple of games.
And hopefully they do. Hopefully they do. I think for this upcoming game we're gonna have, we're gonna most likely have Nico back.
Yes.
Peralta might look like he'd be back, but
yes,
I'd expect him to be off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Edson. We have yet to hear word about Edson or Renato, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, there's no word on Edson yet, but the rumor has it that he will be back, and Ibarra should be back. Ibarra's definitely back.
Okay, so Ibarra back for Santos, and hopefully Edson too. Nico as well, and Uribe also. That gives you a little bit more confidence coming into this next game.
It does, because I think me and you would say that along with Guido Rodriguez, Renato, and Edson are our probably most valuable players on the field. And when you just have all three on them, we look like a different team, and I'm sure everyone knows it. So it'll be very important to have Edson and Renato back for Santos in a must-win game. I feel like we've been saying that a lot. We said against Tijuana, it's a must-win game against Tijuana. We said against Cruz Azul, must-win against
Maybe
Cruz Azul.
We should just not say it's a must-win game. Maybe just be like, you know what? Go out there, try your best.
Oh, man, but see,
but that's not true.
But this is what we've been saying, though. Imagine we do pick up a win against Tijuana. Imagine we do pick up against Cruz Azul. This loss would have probably been like, probably would have shrugged it off, right? Because we would have been, fighting for second place, maybe even if we would have picked up all those games. So it's just the sad reality that I just don't think that we are as dominant as we think we are when things just don't go our way.
I agree with you. There's a lot that hasn't gone our way, and yet we're still here hoping for it to change.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Well, back to this whole Toluca game. We scored a tying goal, in which I think shows that maybe we do know what we're talking about here at the Eagle Eye Podcast, because we said that one of the best ways to break down this Toluca defense was going to muscle out their defenders through the middle, and Roger did exactly that in the goal that he tied. They gave him a pass, and he kind of just muscled his way through, slotted it past Talavera. And you thought, okay, good. This is the response you wanted to see. You got the goal. Now go out there and try to get another one.
Correct. No, yeah, I think we said it perfectly. We said that we had to look, well, in our eyes we saw Menez playing, but yeah, that's just a dream now. But we did say that Roger Martinez was going to be very important in trying to break down that back five and really try to muscle out some defenders, and exactly he did that. But no, it was a great goal. It was nice to see Uribe get the assist. I think he had a great game. I wouldn't say great. I would say good game. I think he had a good game. Uribe, definitely better than what he's shown us this whole season. So it was nice to see him get the assist there, but it was also great to see Roger get on the score sheet, after, being not playing these past couple games.
Yeah, I agree with you. The Colombians finally showing us something, and we really need him to step up. And if this is what it takes for him to get some of that confidence going, then, keep it going.
Yes, definitely.
Alrighty. Well, so then America gets that tying goal. Then, come the second half, America pushes forward. Ibargüen, I was about to call him Renato Ibarra. Ibargüen pulls off a great shot that hits the crossbar.
Yeah, beautiful. And then, please don't tell me about this. I know where this is going.
Cordoba had all the chance in the world to just tap it in. I mean, why did he have to take that extra touch?
Oh, man. Honestly, the way he was getting that ball, I thought he had enough time, or he was lining himself up to just head the ball in. because I think the ball had enough height and he was in the prime position to do it. Then he stops it. When he stopped, I thought he was gonna shoot, but no, he kind of took a cut in, and I was like, oh my god, this kid. And I think that's where All Americanistas lost head, because that would have been the 3-1.
That would have been the 2-1 at
That
that
would have been
point.
the 2-1. That would have been the 2-1.
And then the
the
following
3-1.
goal would have been the
Exactly.
3-1.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Just the little momentum switches that we could have had. It's oh man, it was annoying to see that, honestly. But that was one of the bad moments that he had. Damn, I know that if I were him, I would want that back in a heartbeat.
I mean, was it really his game, even though he got a goal? Well,
Yeah.
He wasn't even his goal, to be honest. It wasn't even going towards the net.
It was an own goal, yes. But let's talk about that goal, though. Finally, I think he learned from his mistake, and he
takes the
shot that first time, and then that's what happened. Well, I think it was my Dana who just got caught. The ball was going too fast. I mean, nothing really he can do. It's not really his fault. But that's what can happen if you just take your chances, and that's what I guess I think that's the theme of this game. Is just take your chances. We had a chance and we just didn't convert, honestly.
And it's not to say that this was such a terrible game by America.
Because it wasn't, though.
It wasn't. I think this game itself gets lost in translation because of everything that surrounds the game outside of things, right? The terrible way that we concede the goals because of the way that America is attacking, pushing forward, getting numbers going. You're very disorganized at the back, and so hence why Toluca is able to score the goals that they're able to score, right?
Correct. Yes.
You're also lost in translation at the fact that Piojo, with everything going on, with him saying what he had to say about the VAR, him and his declarations about Menes, so this all gets lost. This decently well played game of America gets lost in all the mess that has been created.
Yeah. No. I completely agree with you. It's just I want to raise a question.
Go for it.
And I want the chat to respond as well. So at the beginning of the season, we looked at this squad of 20-something players, and we said, okay, we have, even with the signings added in Benedetti and Castillo, we looked at it and we said, okay, listen, do we have enough people to compete for both? Or do we have enough depth to compete for both? You have key injuries in the last game in S and Renato. Now my question is, do we have that depth? Do we have enough players that you can take out? You could take out a crucial starter and then put one in, and then it will almost give you the exact same results. Do we have that right now in this current state of America?
As of right now. With the injuries that we still have.
Correct. Based on what we saw against Tijuana, because that was a kind of rotational squad as well, and based on what you saw against Toluca, both were losses. Do you think that America just salvaged itself?
Yeah, America has enough depth.
Do they? Okay.
They do. The players just don't know how to hold on to a lead.
Okay.
Right?
You're right.
And both games, it's the same scenario. You lose the game in the same way.
Correct.
Right? It's no. You bring up a great point. Yeah, I didn't even correlate those two games, but you're right. I think America still has that depth, has a really good, well-rounded squad, but sometimes you gotta look at these players and say, okay, why can't you hold on to it?
No, completely agree. Yeah, no, it was just interesting looking at this, and I'm just like, wow. So we really do need our starters to really show our full potential. I really thought that, okay, you give, let's just say, Edson the day off, and you just slide in Uribe there, and everything will be okay. But we've learned that Edson Alvarez is a crucial part in our midfield now, and practically irreplaceable. So stuff like that. You take away Renato Ibarra, you put in Cordova. Yeah, Cordova has some brilliance here and there, but he's not Renato Ibarra, right? He's not gonna beat you down the wing with speed. He can give you a little play here and there, but he's not gonna be consistent for 90 minutes. So
yeah, he's more of a central player, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a tough position, but I think, given the circumstances, though, since we don't have a winger, something you really emphasized at the beginning of the season, that's gonna haunt us in the long run, and here we are now week 17, and we don't know if our star winger will be 100% fit for Santos. We know he's gonna be there, but is he gonna be 100% fit, or is Herrera just gonna risk him because we kind of need to win the game?
Yeah, and then I said it. America needs
They should
a
hire
striker, a
us.
midfielder, and a winger. it was that simple, and it looked like they were gonna get all three. You know,
we saw the striker, we saw
we saw the
Benedetti,
midfielder.
we saw the midfielder, and we just need the winger.
Yeah,
I kind of miss what was his name? What was his name?
Oh,
Um,
El Profe
El Profe. In Soralde. There you go.
Insalrulde.
In Soralde. I kind of miss him about now. He was picking up steam.
Damn. Insalrulde is like, I left and you guys are tanking. I think that's the definition of karma.
Yeah, I mean, who would
We
have
should have
thought?
never made as much fun as we did about him. Look what's happening now.
Yeah.
Oh man, but moving on, as a good friend, Mr. Kevin Perez says, we bottled it. America did bottle it afterwards.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ham rolled it even, as he puts it. Being up 2-1, and then minutes later, you can see it against Toluca. It wasn't even a good shot that he took afterwards.
Yeah, the third
he
goal.
gets that ball crossed in. But I mean, even at that point, that poor of a shot was able to go in. Why? Because you weren't, the defense wasn't anywhere near him. We just looked terrible. You're right. I feel like Edson was a key part of that midfield that wasn't there.
Yeah.
And I so many questions. Many questions.
Something that really annoyed me about that third goal was, Toluca does get possession of the ball when Talavera catches it, and then Paulo Aguilar is just jogging back. Does he not analyze the situation that's about to happen? America is really defensively weak right now, and you're just there just jogging. Like, that's supposed to be our captain. He's supposed to be the one with the strongest mentality. Be the leader of this team, and to see him jogging back when Toluca's about to be on this extremely dangerous counterattack, and then once he realizes that Toluca has gotten past the first guy, then he starts running, but then at that point it's too late. You had Guido running back from the start of it, but he couldn't get there. So like it's I don't know, it's just disappointing to see that Paulo Aguilar, him being the veteran, him being the leader that he's supposed to be for this team, and then being out of position a lot in this game. It's a little bit concerning from his part.
Yeah, it most definitely is. You know what the crazy thing is? Paulo Aguilar went from hero to villain in a span of like a week. Yeah, people were praising him on Twitter, saying he came to America, he won all these championships, he's the only player to have won like so many titles, a CONCACAF and a Copa MX, like props to him. He's a legend, he's a GOAT, blah blah blah. And then after the Toluca game, it's like, what's wrong with Paulo Aguilar?
Yeah,
get him out of here. George Sanchez is his replacement, blah 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 blah. I'm like, damn. You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself be the villain, right?
No, definitely. And I really do hope that he really looks back at this game and just says, wow, okay, I bottled it here, I bottled there, I bottled it the whole game. Because I think it was who was on the Pardo. I think Pardo and Toluca was having a field day with him, and he really needs to fix that in these upcoming games.
Yeah, so then that happens, and then of course Toluca scores another one off a counterattack, off a terrible defensive. There's like only one person back. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah. But I think it was Jorge Sanchez.
Yeah. It's either him or Guido.
No, Guido kept running.
Guido ran back. Never mind. Guido ran back, but wasn't able to get there in time.
Yes.
Yeah, it was not good. Not good at all.
Yeah. So and our good friend Chicken Little said Pardo had a bit sent off. I don't know. That's a little bit controversial in my opinion. I mean, previous to that though, he was fouled, so that's why I think the refs kind of knew that, so they were just, you know what, let's just let's give him the yellow, just kind of cancel each other out in a way.
I agree.
Yeah,
I think look, it's another thing, the whole referee situation. It's been tainting America for the past couple of games now, and it's hard. It's difficult not to talk about it because we don't like to talk about it, right? It's not really, a way to break down the game, a way to analyze the game. the matter of fact is it does influence it, but still, America had all the time before and all the time after that to assert themselves. But it is troubling some that all of this referees kind of stuff is been kind of at the center of America's season, and not just America, but I think the league in general right now is suffering from this. I mean, what was it? I think it was Veracruz's owner, right, who is under
Yeah.
scrutiny too
Hmm.
after some comments that he made about VAR.
Yes.
Um, so it looks like it's a very delicate situation right now in Mexico, and I feel like if we talk about it, we might just get that email that we're fined
Yeah, most
as
likely.
well.
I'm refreshing my email right now as we speak. But no, yeah. But honestly, I don't think it's just these past couple games. I think it's been a thing all season. It's not just with America. It's gets a lot of center attention because it's Piojo always complaining, and America always has to be center of the attention. But it's happened in other games too. It's just I think this needs to be a wake up call, in my opinion. And in most ways, I would tell Piojo, shut up, stop complaining about the refs, acknowledge your mistakes. You didn't play the game out correctly. You got outplayed. Accept the loss and move forward. But then again, on the other hand, with that, like the little slim of me is just like, good job, yo. Let Mexico know, let the FMF know that their referees do not know how to use VAR, and they need to learn because we this league cannot continue, with incompetent refs not knowing how to use a VAR and when to use it. So I don't know. It's a complicated situation. I really hope it gets resolved come Liga because I would hate to see a team that really deserves, to advance, so to say, and then get screwed over by VAR. So like I don't know. I just hope the referees kind of just step it up a little bit too. And yeah, I think that's all I'll say on the subject.
Yeah, well, I'll keep it like that. I think you're making it too hot for us with your remarks, but no, I think you're right. I think there's got to be some practice in there. But again,
Oh,
this is new. This is all
just,
new. We're
just got
not
the
here.
email. Just got the email.
Damn, all our Gancito money down the drain.
Yeah, there you go.
This is new. This whole VAR situation is new. We can't say that this has been out for an X amount of time. It's new to the league. It's new to the world. It's not even 5 years old, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Hmm.
So there's as all things, there's gonna be subtle changes here and there. There's gonna be things that need to get fixed, and we progress and we grow and we learn as the years go by. And hopefully next season we're not talking about a Piojo complaining about the referees or complaining about all these VAR situations. Maybe
Yeah.
next season it's a whole different story.
No. Yeah, I completely agree with you.
So we'll leave it at that. So then we're gonna end this review with the whole Henry situation, because I think it needs to be addressed. It's been
Okay.
all over Twitter. Dylan isn't here to defend his man, but he's out here screaming. You're here to give your insight. I am here to just moderate because I think I have points to be said about both sides here. But let me hear it because Henry has the opportunity to level the game up 3-3, and as always, he lets us down in the last minute in these crucial games. How many times did last season too were we like Henry, Henry, Henry? You had the chance, but you just blew it.
Yeah, it's been a lot. That's been kind of like a recurring theme that's been circling Henry, I guess. But like, let me just go by saying this. At the start of this season, we saw Henry Martin kind of like really go on this level that we know he can reach, but it was something that we haven't really seen before. He was scoring in one game, next game he was scoring again and again. Consistency. He found consistency in his game, and me and you, for a certain extent, we liked it. We appreciated him. We were thankful, and finally, we said, okay, Henry, you're finally scoring, but we weren't sold on it. Me and you were just like, no, let's wait a little bit longer before we start giving Henry this ultimate praise. And because we said if there was one thing that he can't do, and that's be consistent over a long period of time. Yes, he was consistent for a short period of time, correct. I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm not saying he was the best striker we had in our team. because he was for that very brief moment. But then we saw after one game where he didn't score, I called him out and said, Henry's not consistent and he probably won't do this again. And ever since I called him out on that day, he hasn't been the same. Yeah, he scores a game here. It takes 5 games for him to score the next one. And yes, you score a double against Tijuana, but it's the 85th minute and we're already up 2-0 in the Copa Mexi. So, your goals are kind of pointless at this point, in my opinion. In games like this where Nico Castillo's injured and Oribe Peralta's nowhere to be found, this is the game, this is the moment that you need to show everybody that, you are capable of kind of carrying your team and, giving your team the victory, putting the team on your back. If you can't even make an effort for the ball, stop complaining about not getting enough money. Stop complaining about getting a contract because, that's earned on the pitch, not with your mouth. Stop not celebrating because the board's not giving you any money or any more money that you think you deserve because you don't deserve it. Moments like this, moments like the game against the Cruz Azul where you're supposed to score, moments like against the Toluca where you're supposed to score, and you're not doing it. You're half-assing your effort, and and you think you deserve more. That's not gonna fly. It's not gonna fly in my team. So if that's the same attitude that he's gonna come going forward, then I don't want to see him in the America jersey next season.
You know what? I think Christian just sums it up for, I think, 95% of all Americanistas out there. I think they're fed up right now with Henry. And rightly so. I think Henry needs to face the music. I think there's things that he needs to work on. Been actually saying about this for him about quite some time now. He needs to work on his finishing. He needs to work on, having a bit more of a presence in the box. The solo striker thing doesn't really work sometimes. And even when he does have a partner, sometimes it doesn't work for him as well. What is going to work for Henry? What is going to work for him? Is it another team? Is it time on the bench? What is it that he cannot take these advantages? He cannot take this. This was the opportunity for him to sit Nico Castillo on the bench, to sit Roger on the bench, to sit Oribe on the bench, and have Henry Martin, the ultimate lethal striker, the ultimate lethal Mexican striker. He had all these opportunities gifted to him, given to him, but yet he's still here, not producing, not giving the fans what they need from him, not giving the club what they need from him. And I think it's the same situation that we go on time and time and time again with Henry. I mean, you said it, you just repeated it right now. There is no consistency when it comes to the man. You need that from a striker. You need that. And yes, there are people out there that will say that, he's doing things good still here and there. And I'm one of those people that have defended him from time to time, but it's getting harder now. It's really, really harder to put Henry in good lighting just because there's so much that he needs to do, so much that he's yet to prove. And I'm not so sure if he's going to have next season to do it.
Right. And another point I wanna make, everyone's saying that if Henry was Colombian or if he was French, people wouldn't be so so critical of him, judging his performances. Why is no one saying anything about Roger Martinez? Well, the man hasn't really played enough for me to criticize him, and yet the game that he does play, he scores a goal. Where's Henry? Why isn't he scoring? Yes, Roger didn't have a great game either against Toluca. It's sad. We saw it. We all saw it. We know Roger Martinez hasn't been this striker that we thought he was gonna be when we first signed him. You're right. He really hasn't been the striker that we thought he was gonna be. But that's not. But he does possess some qualities that Henry doesn't. Roger's build-up play when he gets the ball, he knows how to protect the ball, he knows how to distribute the ball. Henry can't even make a simple pass nowadays, and it's getting really frustrating seeing him on the pitch when he's not contributing to anything. It's like we're playing with 10 men, honestly. And like you said, I like the guy. I think he's a really good person just as a player. Right now, he's just not doing it for me. And how much longer is it gonna be till he just rides the bench? And he's been given opportunities. He's just not embracing them like he did in the beginning of the season. And I don't know if it's because of his new contract ordeal or or whatever's going on, but he's just not the same. And I don't know, like you said, it's just getting harder and harder to defend the guy.
Yeah, it's the same situation where I said, look, you gotta clean whatever is going on interior wise and just get it fixed. If this whole contract situation, just put it on pause and say, look, We're gonna talk as soon as the season is over. We're gonna break it down. You have till then to convince us to put it, to put up your case, and that's it.
There you go. And this, if I was the directiva, I would just be like, just we'll try to accommodate you to another club because right now you're just not doing it for us. I've always said, and I think you've heard this phrase too. There are just some players that aren't made to be an America player. And for some moments, Henry looked like he was he was made, he was cut out for the thing. Then the spotlight started getting to him, the interviews started getting to him, national team call up rumors started getting to him, and then contract situation started getting to him, and then he's just not performing when he needs to perform.
And let's face it, he's not the youngest of players anymore, right?
Yeah, you're right. He's
27.
not. He's not. So it's just little factors like this. You do good under the light, but when the spotlight's on you, you can't perform. That just can't fly in a club like America.
Definitely, definitely. I think in perfect terms, se tenía que decir y se
He
dijo.
said, "Dijo, I love that meme. That
That
meme is great."
meme is great, and that meme is in perfect. I think just perfect moment right now for this whole Henry situation. But it
Yeah.
is a story that is still yet to be told definitively. There's going to be a lot more. This is going to drag on until the end of the season. So, ladies and gentlemen, as much as we discuss this right now, believe me that there is so much more still yet to talk about this whole Henry situation, this whole America with Piojo and the referees and Menes and all that stuff. A lot to be said, right?
Yes, 100%.
Alrighty. Well, with that said, I think that wraps up the Toluca review. I mean, it was a really long review.
Yeah, it's just yeah.
But we didn't just review the game. I think we talked a lot about everything that was surrounding it right now, America, within regards to the dressing room, with the whole Menace situation, and some of the interviews that Piojo has given, saying that he's not 100% in training, that he's not giving it his all. The team isn't really happy or content with what he's showing. So, hence why they left him out for the Toluca game. And
Mhm.
of course, Jeremy Menace going on Twitter, on his Instagram story, saying that his accusations are false. Never really tagged the person, but I think everyone can feel safe and assured that that was towards Piojo. Never want to see your player fighting with, you never want to see a player fight with their manager in social media, because I think that just shows how messy things are right now.
Correct. Um, you know me. We talk off camera, obviously, and you know that I am a big Jeremy Menez fan. I would love to see him succeed at this club because the moments that he has been on the pitch, he's shown us what he can do. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever see him set another a foot on a pitch in a Club America jersey ever again. I think his time has come to an end. It's kind of sad because I know what he can bring, but players like that though, just that just doesn't fly. Your ego's way too big right now. You don't have anything to back it up because you really haven't played. Yes, I know Pio hasn't put you, but I think Pio has a good reason why he doesn't put you in games, but just stuff like that, making everything public, that's just not the right way to go about situations like this, in my opinion.
Right? There's a saying that no player is bigger than the club.
There you go, and definitely this Jeremy Menez is never gonna be bigger than Club America.
Yeah. So the freshman situation is going to drag on a little bit more. So we'll have a lot more of it next week on the podcast. Have to see how this thing ends. But I think we can rest assured he won't be on the 18-man squad against Santos, right?
Um,
I mean, it'd be really, really hard to see
I
him.
mean,
Having
Pio,
Roger back. I mean, having Roger back, having Castillo back,
yeah,
needing that extra international slot.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
I don't see
I
him.
don't
Yeah,
see Menace.
you're right. No, you're right, 100%.
I don't. It's tough. It's tough. Alrighty then. Well, America bottles it. America loses 3-2 against Toluca. Another away defeat. It looks like our away form has just not been hitting. And well, I guess now because of that, we find ourselves in the situation that we are, and we're gonna preview the upcoming game against Santos Laguna at the Estadio Azteca. But before that, I know a lot of you are probably wondering, where is trivia? And well, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the day. Christian, can you tell these beautiful people what they are playing for today?
Yes, sir. Today's trivia will be presented by Gansito. Gansito for all your healthy needs. There, I got,
Boy,
I got that out of the way. Now onto the trivia. This question will be 40 points once again, as all of the questions have been as of recent. So Ivan just posted in the chat. So go ahead and submit your answer. Today's question is: name three players that have played in Santos and Club America.
just three.
Just three. Just three. I know you can name probably 40, but we'll keep it at three for now. Um Standings should be up and the next couple of days. Everything is updated except for last week's and of course this week. So when I have that for you, I will get it out to you either on the next podcast or on Twitter one of these days. I'm on spring break, so I don't know how I'll get to that right now, but I'll see if I can make it work. But yeah, for now on, the thing will be on the podcast. I think I mentioned that earlier. No one has given me really much feedback saying that they want it on Twitter, so I'll just keep it on the podcast. So if you want your points, come on the podcast. There are a few people that are starting to run away with points, but there's still plenty of time to catch up, especially if one misses one. So just keep coming onto the show, hang out, answer the question, and you'll get your points.
Definitely, most definitely. That's a pretty good question. Centered around today's game. Like you said, I think we could probably name like 16 players just off the
Yeah.
back of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Um, interesting. Well, should be a fun one. All you need is three,
All
and
you need is three. It
and
should
that
be the
just
easiest one ever.
that should really be the easiest one.
Yeah.
This is the easiest question we've ever given them.
Most likely.
Alrighty then. Well, let's go on into our next segment. America needs 3 points desperately, so direly, and we are going up against our very good friends team, Mr. Thick Rick
Take you,
out there. I
Ricky.
know you might listen to this for the preview. So shout out to you, Ricky, and also uh someone by the name of Mr. Tom Harrison, who
Tom
works now
Harrison.
for Santos Laguna. So we'll
Hmm.
be going up against their team. America will be facing and hosting Santos Laguna in the Liga MX Jornada, I believe 16, correct?
All right, 16. Yes, sir.
Jornada 16. Need 3 points so desperately. It is a must-win situation. There is no two ways about it. We've said this time and time again, but now it is really do or die, because if America does not salvage anything from this, then they can kiss the Liga goodbye.
Most likely, yeah, because then you would need to depend on not one, not two, not three, possibly four or five teams' results to go your way, and you would probably get the seventh or eighth spot. So
You don't want
this
that.
this
You
this
don't
game
want that.
will most likely be the game. If we win, we're in the game. If we don't, we're out. This is gonna be the game. Think of this game like a final, in my opinion. This is it. This is the game of the season, in my opinion.
Definitely. So we're gonna break it down, talk to you guys exactly what needs to go right. The only good news we have about this game is, like we said, Nico's coming back. Renato looks like he's good to go. Edson's coming back, and Oriol Peralta might even feature off the bench. So the old Ley de la X to come into play for us. I mean,
Hopefully.
we need to get everything we can to go right
Hmm.
for us. We need goals,
Yes.
we need a victory, and possibly maybe even a clean sheet if possible.
Yes, because right now we're not really that much behind in goal differential, but a clean sheet will always help for confidence and morale purposes.
I think that's what we need a lot more right now is
Mhm.
morale, more than anything. But you know what? Let's get things started here as we always do. Let's give that predicted lineup. What do you think? What do you see America going with on Saturday?
I think we're going with our bread and butter. We'll go Marchesín in net, Jorge Sanchez, Aguilera, Bruno Valdez, Paul Aguilar, Guido Rodriguez, Edson Alvarez, Renato Ibarra, Mateo Zuribe, Andres Ibargüen, and Nico Castillo up top.
Look at that, word for word for Chicken Little's predicted lineup as well. So it looks like you
Mhm.
guys have that same lineup, and I will not move anything from this. I think it's perfect.
Yes,
I think
this
it's exactly what you need. There's firepower. There's defensive. There's a defensive unity out there in the midfield and in the center back partnership. You need this game to go right for you. You need all your starters. I mean, there's no two ways about it. You need
yeah.
everyone to be at 100%.
This is your strongest 11 you have this season, and it's time to go to work. This is it. This is the biggest test of the season. Can you guys overcome all the bad results that have been in your presence as of late? Remove all of that, clear your mind, and just win this one game for Liga purposes. Just to be that 99% sure that you guys are in Liga. Can you guys just overcome everything and win this game? That's gonna be on them, on Piojo to really guide these players into the right direction. Don't let them get too flustered if things aren't going our way in the beginning of the match. Keep calm, cool, collected throughout the whole game, and this is the game.
Yeah, I think we need the three C's for this one. Come cool and collected. I think we need an America side that knows what they're playing to, knows what they have to fight for, and need to know that they need to salvage their season one way or another. A Copa MX, yeah, it's gonna look good on a trophy room, but guess what? It doesn't look so well at the end of the season where that's the only thing you were able to accomplish, and
Yeah.
you weren't even able to make the Liga. That I think is the most worrisome part for America fans all around the globe right
Mhm.
now is that they're looking at their team. It's not a responding team. It's not a functional team. They need a kickstart, and this game needs to be that in essence. So with that lineup, with that formation, I think we can be safe and we can be assured that America is going to go and get the game. I think they're going to bring the game to Santos. I don't know how well that's actually going to be.
It's interesting to say because I think Santos is they kind of play the same formation that we played against Toluca. I'm sorry, they have their four defenders, their four midfielders, and they have Correa and Furch kind of up top. Yeah, Correa likes to play a cam role, but we do see him kind of trying to take that striker position in a way. Their game, I think, is central along what Gaito does and what Huevo Lozano does on the wing. So it's pretty much gonna be an even match game in terms of tactics. I think both of them are gonna try to bring the game towards each other because if I do recall correctly, Santos has this much of a lifeline and they're gonna go all for it. So they're gonna come. They're gonna come into our home and they're gonna present the game to us because they're not out of it yet. They're in the hunt. It's very slim, but they're still on the hunt. And a win here is immense for them. So they're not gonna be all defensively. They're gonna bring the game to us as well.
So it looks like both teams are kind of in the same boat situation. America really needs the points. So does Santos. America needs to take the game to them, but Santos know that they can't just sit back and soak up the pressure because that only means more of an opportunity for America. So they will try to kind of disrupt our game as well by taking it to us and putting us under pressure. I think it works in both ways for America, whether or not Santos is standoffish or whether or not Santos brings the game to them. I think America can use and abuse the Renato Ibarra and Ibargüen's speed situation and get them on the counterattack if they do want to bring the game to us. If not, then again, be creative when you do use the wings and be affirmative when you do play down the middle. If you're going to have someone like Nico Castillo start, then you need balls to be played into him. Whether it's
Yeah,
across, whether it's at his feet, you need him to get the ball. He needs reception, and he from then on needs to go and create the space and create the shot opportunities. We know what he's capable of. He's great at free kicks. He's great at long range. He's great up front. Well, maybe not so much this season for America, but he needs to have that confidence
yeah.
going. He needs to be the center of attention for this America game because we really need a Nico Castillo.
Correct, yeah. And it's all gonna depend if he does get the balls. And one player I think I can look at is Mateo Uribe. Can Mateo Uribe replicate his performance against Toluca? Can he be that kind of like that that central line of your attack? You play the ball through Uribe, okay, Uribe. Give it out to the wing or give it out to Nico. Let's see if you can pick a pass here and there, control the kind of attacking side of the midfield and really make your presence known. Mateo Uribe is my player to watch this game.
Okay, Mateus Uribe is your player to watch. Mine is definitely going to be Nico Castillo. I
Mm-hmm.
need him to be at the forefront of America's attack. And at the end of the score sheet, I need his name to be on there, not just once, but twice, maybe even three times if possible. We
Mm-hmm.
need to go out there, and if we can steamroll against past Santos Laguna, perfect. That's exactly what you need. Build confidence. As much goals as you can score, go at it. Get the early goal, get the second one, get the third, and just keep going off of that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not 100%. Another thing I like to note. I think both teams are gonna present their strongest 11. Other than that, though, on the bench, both teams don't really have many options to go to. So this is it. The Santos that you see at the beginning of the game, give 20 minutes in. That's probably the Santos you're gonna see for the rest of the game. So kind of make us study this team, know how they're playing, and just capitalize on their mistakes. Play your game. If we play our game and we're really central around that, and we're calm, cool, and collected, this game should go easily in our favor. We just got to do what we've been doing against Tigres, what we did against Tigres, and just go out there and prove to Liga MX that listen, we lost here and there, but we're not out of it yet. We're still going to be a strong contender in Liga.
Yeah, gotta showcase why you're the defending champions, and
There you go.
that really needs to be the case right now. So America, in search of all 3 points against the Estadio Azteca. I mean, there's not much more to it. It's not much we can say. As much as we can break it down. At the end of the day, it's America needs to win. They need to go out. They need to showcase, and if they do, then I think they can get the 3 points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100% agree.
Agreed. All right, and then give me your predicted scoreline for Saturday.
I think America needs this dominant win. I'm gonna go 3-0.
3-0, just like Chicken Little. He is going 3-0. Christian, I'm going with a 2-0 for America. 2-0 result for America. That's fine. That's fair.
I think that 2-0. I think that nil part is very important. I think that kind of gives Marchesín a boost of confidence too, because he really hasn't been Marchesín as of late. So just having that nil for him and for your back four, I think will do wonders for this team.
Definitely. Chicken Nugget saying 3-1.
Let us hear exactly. Though.
Yeah, a win is a win. Louis is saying 4-1. Okay,
I'm
keep
down
going.
For that.
Keep going. Keep telling us what more is Chicken Nugget saying, not saying who's winning.
All right,
just
Dylan.
like Dylan.
All right, Dylan.
So yeah, plenty and hope and expectations for this game, nonetheless. So I think it's a do or die situation.
Mm-hmm.
You salvage your season or you bury it. Simple as that, I think.
Yeah, I think it all comes on Saturday. This is it. I'm really, really, really hoping we really do get the win, and I'm confident that we will. It's just, if we do get the win, how are we gonna, respond going into Veracruz? Are we gonna just be like complacent again and be like, Veracruz, come on, they have 0 points this season. Like, what can go wrong? A lot can go wrong actually. So. It's all Saturday. Saturday is the game. I think this is the game of the season, and we need a victory.
What time is the game on Saturday?
This will be 8:00 Eastern time, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific.
It is 5 Pacific, like you mentioned. 6:00 for our good friends down at Mountain Time, and back to those 5:00 games.
Yeah, Saturday night. Let's get it. Oh, Saturday night for me.
Well, yeah, well, that's not night for us over here, but you know what we mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. America needs all needs everything not to go perfectly right, but for things to start to go right,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A win. I think a win should get us back on track, especially having our full 11 out there. I think this is it. I think if we have a good showcase, I think everything's gonna be okay, guys. I really do think so.
You think so? And we hope so as well, because we really need things to go start going north for us, not south. We need America to start climbing up that table and hopefully secure 4th place. And it starts with Saturday, right?
Yes, sir.
Saturday. Alrighty. Well, with that said, that is the end of that segment. Now we are coming to the end of the podcast, and we are going to end it on a high note, because it has been quite a bit of a drag, and it has not been the best of news all around, with America and the rumors of the dressing room falling apart, with the result against Toluca, with the whole disciplinary committee going after Piojo, with the preview of the game against Santos and all the stress that's brought. But now it's time to end on a high note. Christian, our beloved Lady Aguilas has secured their spot into the Liga not since the last game, but a couple games ago. They did lose against Pachuca, but they bounced back and took a victory against Lobos Buap to close out their season. And we know exactly who they will be facing in the next round of the Liga. The quarterfinal draw has been made. America, the Lady Águilas, will be going up against Club León
Club
in
Leon.
what should be a very, very enticing match. Leon, who came out and fought for their spot against Morelia, and the ladies were able to secure their spot. Now it's time for them to go up against our ladies and fare a good matchup. With that said, it's a very, very good game to come. It is going to be Thursday, the 25th of April, which I believe is tomorrow.
It is
No,
not
well,
tomorrow. It is
sorry, I'm already
Thursday.
thinking it's Wednesday. It's Thursday.
It is
Sorry,
Thursday.
I'm all
Yes,
over the place right now. It is Thursday. It's
it is
this Thursday. So our
this
ladies'
Thursday.
campaign for the B Campeonato begins Thursday against Leon at the Estadio Camp Nou.
Now count. Now.
Now Camp, whatever they
Yes.
want to call it. Estadio Leon. I'm just gonna
Yes.
call it Estadio Leon. The
Yeah. Okay.
ladies are going up against them, and they will have home field advantage come Sunday, the 28th of April at the Estadio Azteca. Please do pay attention to these ladies. Please pay attention to our Twitter account. We will be giving you the most up-to-date information as possible, as we do try to give you guys an up-to-date kind of news relation in regards to these ladies. But huge game coming up for these. I believe I believe it's the beginning of something special if America is able to capitalize on it. I'm not saying that Leon is an easy team. I'm not saying that this is going to be a walk in the park. It won't be easy. These situations never really are. But I believe the ladies have a very good mentality. They have a very good team structure, very good team morale. And even after losing some very key players in important positions, I see these ladies 10 times better than the men right now.
Oh yeah. I think it's just their consistency of games. I'm looking at their track record: draw, win. That lost against Pachuca, but then you bounce right back with the win against Lobos Buap. They kind of have that like resilience and that attitude that like, listen, guys, we just lost. All right, listen, we can't do that again. Let's go out there and win the game. And I think that attitude, that kind of mentality of always trying to win and be better than everybody else, it's gonna carry them through Liga. And like you said, Leon is no easy walk. They really fought their way to be in the position that they are now. But now you're going against a powerhouse in America, and this is where America needs to demonstrate that. Okay, yes, respect for Leon, but we should be able to take care of business.
So, as I urge every single one of you, every single time we mention the ladies, after a Saturday night of partying, make sure you wake up on Sunday ready to go. Hashtag let's go Lady Aguilas. Hashtag Lady Aguilas. Let them know that we're behind them, ladies. If the game, for whatever reason, does get transmitted, we will be there 100% of the way watching you. And hopefully we'll be able to be there seeing you guys move on to the next round of the Liga MX Femenil Clausura 2019. Yeah, wow, that was a mouthful. Excited for these ladies. We've been covering them almost since the beginning. We've been through Campeonato with them. We've been through injuries. We've been through a lot of a roller coaster of emotions with them. Not as much as we would have wanted to. We've always said that we want to give this game more of attention, more coverage. Unfortunately, since we're here in the States, we don't get that kind of privilege to do so. But we do promise you that we keep an eye on you guys firmly. And we're hoping for the best. We're going to keep our fingers crossed, and we are going to be sending nothing but positive vibes your way with our hashtag Lady Aguilas. Hopefully, it carries you guys through into the next stage of what should be hopefully a very good run for the B Campeonato.
Yeah, no, you said it perfectly. Like you said, man, keep a close eye on these ladies, man. They deserve all the attention in the world. They put in effort week in and week out, and it's about time they get some recognition, and hopefully they can come up with a victory on Thursday and Sunday.
Definitely. So, ladies, we'll be with you all the way. But with that said, Christian, I believe the show has come to an end. Anything you want to say before we wrap things up?
It's going to be a stressful weekend with Lady Aguilas on Thursday and Sunday and playing for Liga on Saturday. It's going to be stressful, but if America knows how to do things, it's make things stressful, but then always come on top at the end. So be confident, guys. Don't stress too much. Just know if we get the win on Saturday, we can all take a deep breath and relax. But yeah, look forward to all three games. Hopefully we get victorious in all three of them, and just hope for the best.
Yeah, definitely. And looking forward to Avengers Endgame, right?
Yes, sir. Actually, I don't know when I'm going to be seeing it, because unless I can buy a ticket off the black market, because everything's sold out for the opening night, the screening, and then Saturday, and then Sunday, and then it's gonna be hard to find a ticket, but I'll find
Look
one
for an
eventually.
AMC. They're gonna be open like 24/7, dude. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
the only AMC I have is like an hour and a half away. I mean,
Oh,
I'm down to make the ride, but for a 3-hour movie, I don't know. We'll see about that.
definitely. Definitely.
Yeah,
But
so
plenty of stuff coming down this weekend. Ladies are going to be opening the night off for us against Leon. And then the Avengers movie come Friday, if you guys have seen it Friday. And then, of course, Saturday, America, the men's side, have a very important game against Santos. And then, of course, the ladies close off the weekend at what should be hopefully a very good Sunday evening with the ladies hopefully potentially advancing onto the next round. And we'll keep an eye. Follow us on Twitter at Eagle Eye Podcast, on Instagram as well. You guys can always find all the latest information in regards to both the ladies and men's side of things, as we do try to keep you guys up to date with everything. It was kind of an off week for us this past week, but we are getting back on the horse, and we are going to get everything ready to do so. Alrighty. Well, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us as always here on the podcast. If you guys can never make it to a live show, you guys know where to find us. You guys can always find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and or Spotify. Always have us on the go wherever you guys need to take us. And if for whatever reason you guys do want to come out and join us for one of these live podcasts, especially for the trivia points, you guys know where to find us, youtube.com/the Eagle Eye Podcast. And there you guys can always join us live on Tuesdays, unless otherwise stated, 7 p.m. Pacific time, 9 Central, and of course 10 Eastern for all our friends down over there at the East Coast. Thank you so much for everyone who joined us. As always, we'll see you guys very, very soon. Crazy weekend coming up ahead. But without further ado, Christian, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
man, it's my favorite time of the week. I'm glad to be here.
Favorite time of the week. It's time to vent, all right? Let it out. Kind of carry on. I feel like the week starts for us after the podcast, to be honest.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah. But it's all right, though. It's all right.
Definitely. Alrighty, everyone. Have yourselves a wonderful, beautiful evening, and we'll be seeing you guys this Thursday in regards to the ladies, and then, of course, the rest of the weekend. Have yourselves a wonderful night. I'll see you guys very, very soon. As always, take care. Until next time, and as always,